In this video, I'm going to break down the biggest e-commerce mistake that I see business owners making over and over again, and it just leads to a perpetual mistake-making machine that ends up with their business collapsing or becoming incredibly unprofitable. My name's Tyler Voland, and I've been helping businesses skip the fails and get to the sales for over 8 years now. And the biggest mistake that I see e-commerce owners making is thinking that they constantly have to compete on price. So what I want to do in this video is show you why that's a problem and then show you how you can get out of that mindset and what you can do to replace the benefits that reducing your price is having on your business, aka selling more things and competing with a lower price competitor. I'm going to jump straight into my whiteboard so I can walk this problem through with you. What I'm going to do is very roughly, I'm sorry, I'm not a freehand artist. Let's say you've got a hot sauce product and the price is $100. Even though your hot sauce tastes the best, it's an amazing quality product, you have competitors that are sitting around your price. So maybe you've got one that is $105 and one that is $95. And you're sitting in the middle there somewhere at 100. So what a lot of business owners will do is say, okay, our competitors have a very similar product that is slightly cheaper, or maybe it just appears to be a very similar product to new customers. You know, selling online, people can't really try this before buying it. It's going to appear very similar unless you have really strong branding that makes you stand out from everyone else. So what a lot of people do will say, okay, well, let's match at the $95, or if we want to be really tricky, we're going to drop down and say our hot sauce is $90 for a limited time. So that's, say if you've got a profit margin of $50 per bottle, you've just knocked off essentially 20% of your profit margin to get down and start to sell. And what will happen is for a while, you will sell significantly more if you're marketing this right than you were before, because you'll show that it's at $10 off, you're cheaper than everyone else in the market, so people are going to gravitate to your product based on price. Now what happens is these guys who were selling more suddenly see a drop in their sales and they look around and they find that you're now cheaper. So what do? They either match or drop it again and say go to 85. And everyone knows this in theory, but it's still shocking how many people just end up in a downward spiral of their price. And when it's sitting around here, say you're at $85 now, that's only $15 less profit. So you're still profitable. You're making $35 per bottle, which you justify to yourself and say, yeah, that's not too bad. The problem is this will keep going until you're sitting on razor thin margins, and you're not going to be able to do anything about it once it gets to that point because you're just struggling to keep your head above water. What we say instead is when we've got customers facing this issue where they're not the cheapest on the market and their competitors are selling more than them and they're trying to increase their sales. So there's a couple of strategies that we implement in order to help promote your business without looking at price. And this is the biggest game changer that you'll find once you get this into this habit of looking for other ways to promote it. And we kind of categorize this down. So the first thing which works really, really well is packaging. So you say, we've got 3 flavors. So instead of offering one of the flavors at $100, you're going to take 3. And instead of $100, you're going to pay $280. So it would originally be $300. So you're making a saving of $20. And you might say, well, that's literally just discounting the price across more products. The answer is no, because no longer are you discounting an individual product. So when you discount a group, the value for the discount is attributed in the mind of the purchaser to the fact that they're doing a bulk order. And it's not devaluing the individual value of the sources. So they know that if they come back and buy one, when they get a refill, it's going to be that full price of $100. And this works incredibly well. Just psychologically, people do like to get a bulk deal, especially once they've purchased once or twice and they've got a taste for it and they like it and they know they're going to use it if it's a usable product, then this bulk deal works really well. The other thing that I've seen it work really well for is retail. So say you're selling polo shirts, instead of selling one polo shirt at $50, you might sell 4 polo shirts at $180. And a lot of people don't think that people are going to buy those sorts of products in bulk, but they do. And I've seen this work up to deals of 20 and upwards of 100 products in an individual, but that was more a B2B product. So this works across pretty much every industry that I've found. Now, the next thing that you can do instead of competing on price at all is compete on the benefits of purchasing from you over someone else. So we go back to this being $100 and you've got a competitor who is selling at $95. So there's a $5 difference, which most of the time you're not looking at huge price differences. If it was like $40 and $100, you'd have to differentiate that it is a different product altogether. However, when it's just like these micro, essentially the same price, maybe $5 in between, even more it can be, and this will still work. What you want to do is sell them on the benefits of buying from you over buying from someone else. Often people will say the benefit of buying from me is I have better customer service, but then they can't articulate what that customer service is. So you need to have a very solid, clear benefit. For a really good example is instead of sending it regular shipping, you can send express, and you say all orders will go with express shipping. People, when they decide to make a purchase, especially if it's a snap decision purchase, they normally want to see the benefit of that purchase straight away because they've paid up front, so they want to get the product that they're purchasing as quick as possible. And there's a lot of examples of this being a make it or break it for businesses, but offering a special type of shipping or something that gets it to them quicker, so it could be priority dispatch or something like that, on all orders, and making sure that you display that very prominently on your website. This is a very useful tool in your toolbox that will get people to actually purchase and choose yours over someone else. Now, the next thing that you can do is instead of saying express, or maybe on top of saying express, you can say all the things are surrounding it as well. All of these things will cost you money and they technically take away from your profit margin. But what it doesn't do is devalue the price of your product. So say free returns, you might get a certain amount of products returned that knocks $10 off the average order across all your products for the year. But that is a much better place to take the cost than discounting like you were going to do before from your product price, because all of these things are considered add-ons to the customer. They're not considered discounts on the price. So if you can maintain this price, but take a hit somewhere else, that is a much better outcome than just discounting off there. If there's any other unique things that you can do, it might be free maintenance, free servicing, anything like that for certain products. It might be free embroidery. Anything that you can add on top of the product is always going to be a better option than taking something off the price of the product. So try it out, see if it's helpful for you, and like and subscribe the video, and we'll see you in the next one.